Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to the official episode 21 of Anime Weekly. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the pre-show. That is going to be the show, once again, where Jeremy and I talk about manga, news, DVD, Blu-ray releases, and anime-related stuff, as we say.
Yep.
So,
What's 9 plus 10? 21.
21.
Yeah, we miscounted, guys.
Yeah,
We
I
were,
knew that's what you were talking about. I'm like, oh.
we were all excited about 20 last week, and we were like, wait a minute, hold on. We checked the playlist, like, wait, we forgot to add one. Oh, wait, so we're at 21. Sorry, my bad.
We can count. We just
No,
can't count when it goes to counting up just one.
Look, what you guys don't understand is we record this very late at night, so we are very tired.
So
So,
for us, it was episode 19, even though it was episode 20.
so yeah, just a little housekeeping there, just in case you guys are like, wait, why did it say 21 if you guys were talking about episode 20 last week? So yeah, that's why.
Well, also, if you looked at last week's title, you're like, why are they talking about episode 20? This is episode 20. That's why from
Yeah,
now on I'm announcing the episode so I'll know in advance.
yep,
So we're on the road to episode 30 now. And if you want any of the stuff we talked about before the show, the video is already live. It is episode 21, semicolon pre-show. So we're going to be doing those every week as a setup for Anime Weekly. So if you're watching this, you're watching this for the anime portion, which is what you guys always come and check out, which is why we love doing this and we love hearing from you guys. Again, spring is coming to a close and summer will be beginning soon. A lot of these shows are getting ready to end. Some aren't going to end, as I found out. And we're going to be getting a lot of new stuff. If you'd like to hear Jeremy and I discuss stuff that's coming out in the summer that we're going to enjoy watching, check out the pre-show next week.
yep. We're gonna actually have the full list up, and we're gonna be like reading off kind of descriptions and stuff, and like what we're looking forward to. Kind of like what Frontline does with solicitations on Frontline Live. It's pretty much what we're gonna do there.
Exactly. We're going to be reading the solicits to the animes, and I don't think there's really that many.
No, I think a lot of it, especially because it's summertime, is gonna be movies. So
So bring your favorites, what you guys are looking forward to as well, and we'll see if we have the same kind of favorites. We gotta at some point, Jeremy. Maybe if we do like if we ever have a day, we could do like an Anime Weekly live session somehow.
yeah, we could eventually. I mean, because I know we got a lot of guests coming in when we did the Otaku Hour those two times. So yeah, once we eventually get a day, we'll try to do something. I know we're definitely gonna do Anime Madness soon, so that'll definitely count as a live special sometime next year.
Exactly. All right, so you guys here for the anime? Let's get right into it so you guys don't have like a long intro to sit through. We've got One Piece, episode 744, Ace Attorney, episode 10, Dragon Ball Super, episode 46, Endride, episode 10, Cerberus, episode 9, Big Order, episode 8, ReZero, episode 10, Naurto Shippuden, episode 463, Kuromukuro, episode 9, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, episode 8, 100, episode 9, Stray Dogs, episode 9, Assassination Classroom Season 2, episode 21, My Hero Academia, episode 10, and the final special, One Punch Man special number 6. The end of the specials for Season 1, and it actually ends after, let's see, we'll get to it though. But let's start with One Piece, episode 744. My God, Jeremy, this was the first time in One Piece history I did not fast forward or jump around to. This episode...
This was a really good episode. It was definitely really solid.
The feels, especially that guy that couldn't see, and he sees all these townspeople going in to try to save Luffy to protect him from being crushed by this guy who has, I forgot his name, and he's like, I wish I didn't blind myself. I wish I could see your face. I bet you were kind. When he said that, like, that lump got like... Because they found out that he sent that girl, he didn't steal her, he brought her back to her father. And it was like everybody finally realized he's not a bad guy. Even though he's a pirate, he's not a bad guy.
Hmm. I mean, and that's kind of like the repeating theme of One Piece. Like, the government tries to paint pirates as these bad people, but really a lot of them aren't. Like, I mean, sure, some of them can be really ruthless, but like, I mean, most of them aren't that bad.
I know, and again, when it comes to what do you call it? When it comes to Luffy, I never thought he was a bad person, and I never could understand why they were so against him. I guess there are certain things he does to help people that makes him out to look like the bad guy, kind of.
Yeah. I think it's more just kind of a matter of perspective. It also depends on how you kind of view what you kind of view as like right and wrong type of thing.
Very true. hmm I agree with you. But I loved this episode. I thought it was great. I liked how at first he had to get dragged away from the fight, and then he finally gives up and he just jumps on that big guy's shoulders. The ending, though, was what really had me interested. Now they want to join Luffy. Their army wants to join Luffy.
Yeah, it's they're kind of they're like basically what Luffy's been doing in these past couple arcs is kind of building up reinforcements because the big clash of One Piece is gonna be them taking on Blackbeard, and it's gonna be pretty rough, especially since Blackbeard is the only dude. It was the dude that took out Whitebeard, and Whitebeard was one of the baddest dudes in the seas. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what alliances Luffy is gonna form to actually take down Blackbeard and become the king of the pirates and stuff. I mean, still has to find the treasure and all that, but like you know what I mean. Like you can't become king of the pirates if there's a pirate stronger than you. Like
You have to be the strongest pirate.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I finally feel like I found my door in. The door cracked open finally.
Yep. It takes a bit. It takes a bit for One Piece. I know for me, it took it took a few arcs for me as well when I was getting into it at first to really jump into One Piece. But once you get in, you get hooked on it.
It's like Fairy Tail. You just got to find your right entry point. With Fairy Tail, it was 0. With this, it was this midway between the Del Flamingo and the next arc, whatever that may be.
The next arc is pretty much what we're on right now in the manga, so I think that's why they're kind of doing more fillery type
They're
stuff.
trying to push the manga they're trying to get the manga to go a little bit further forward before anime catches up. Understandable. But I loved it, and it says something that I didn't fast forward it. I think this was a great episode, and I really enjoy One Piece. I really do enjoy it. It's a really fun show.
Yeah, it's got a good balance of like action and comedy.
Agreed. All right, so let's do now Ace Attorney episode number 10. I love this episode. I loved it because they were questioning that boat guy, and ever since the end of last episode where the parrot was talking about D6, which was the case against the person who killed Edgeworth's father, I had a feeling that was the guy that really did the murder.
Yep.
And I think that the whole episode he's acting like this senile old man who can't remember anything, always falls asleep. I think that was aroused. I think that was a complete ruse. The whole thing. I think it was all fake.
Oh, it was definitely an act, and you can tell because like how he reacts during questioning and stuff.
Yeah, because then they go back to court after talking with this old man, and it's the second day, and the old man is the witness, and it turns out that Karma ended up taking all of the D6 files, so basically Phoenix Wright can't read up on the case or figure out, like, he doesn't basically know who the guy was that was on trial. He doesn't know anything about that previous case, and that's dirty. I don't like Karma. The more I see him, the more I see his method. It just, he has to win and that's it, and he doesn't care if he's right or wrong.
Yeah, it's like a do whatever it takes type of attitude.
And that's wrong, because Edgeworth is actually innocent, and what I liked was, we got on the trial, they were trying the old man, and it basically, the judge even threw the verdict of guilty down, because there was no shadow of a doubt. And then out of nowhere, his friend jumps in and says, that's not right. There was a gunshot at 11:50 as well. And that's where Phoenix Wright started wondering, wait a minute. So then there were 3 shots. There was the 2 shots that were heard after 12 midnight on Christmas, and there was the 1 shot that was shot on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
So it couldn't have been Edgeworth.
See, and I think the most interesting part about this is like that like you all like in this show you get a good sense of all the different types of lawyers there are, and like Karma is like that kind of cliche bad guy lawyer that always it only cares about his like conviction rate, so he only cares about winning cases even if the person he's defending is guilty, or in the other case, or in the other way around, where the person who he's persecuting is actually innocent. He doesn't care as long as he wins the case. It doesn't matter.
Exactly, and that's why I loved how when Phoenix Wright finally put the whole scenario together, he's like, Edgeworth didn't do the killing. It was, and I don't know his name. And they're like, well, if you don't know his name, how do you know? It's because he never told us his name. And then out of nowhere, the old man disappeared from the courtroom completely. So I like this episode so much. It's good.
It's good courtroom drama. Like we've been saying since like the start. This is pretty much our Law and Order, and I like Law and Order.
Oh, and I love Phoenix Wright. The character himself, I'm really enjoying Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright's a fun character. If you haven't watched Ace Attorney, you guys should. It's so much fun. It's like anime meets court, like what Jeremy said. It's anime meets Law and Order. It's so good, and you.
I want to play the games now. Like
right?
Yeah. Like
you want to be the detective because in the game you get to be the detective to find the clues and whatnot.
Yep. Because I have a friend that has a bunch of the games for his 3DS. I might just borrow them and see how they are.
Ellie has a few of them. I'm not going to borrow them because I am so backed up on games. I don't have the time right now, but I want to. But it's really good. I would recommend the games. All right, Dragon Ball Super episode number 46. The final part to the
Superhuman Water story arc with Copy Vegeta versus Goku.
Which I thought the fight was very short.
It was kind of anticlimactic because it ended really fast. But I also like that even though Vegeta's disappearing, he's still kind of coaching himself. He's still kind of coaching his copy. It's like, what are you doing? You should be doing this instead of this. Kakarot, like don't lose to Kakarot. I'm like, you realize that Goku's trying to save you, right, dude?
And then I love how he took the guy's pacifier in order to stop himself from disappearing. And
yeah.
Like, why is everybody laughing? What's the problem?
Oh man, it was good. I still enjoyed it.
And you know what really pissed me off though?
Huh.
Monica's the one that saved the day again.
Because he stepped on the crystal thingy and it broke the connection to the superhuman water. And Goku still thinks because Monaka was the one to save the day, he still thinks Monaka is super strong.
Oh man, I hate that he's so stupid. I hated that. But no, in the end, the Super Water died. He was able to defeat the water or the purple version of Vegeta. Vegeta comes back
with like a massive Kamehameha,
which was really awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
And they go home. Everything looks like a happy ending, and then we get the future with Future Trunks being chased by something.
Yep.
We don't know what, but apparently the future is screwed again.
Again.
For the umpteenth time. And now Trunks doesn't have purple hair anymore. He has blue hair. I thought he was Super Saiyan Blue, but then I'm like, wait. His hair would be sticking up because his hair stays as a Super Saiyan's type.
Yeah, I mean, but also if you look at it, like it's kind of like if you look at Bulma from Dragon Ball and you look at Bulma now, like her hair used to be purple
and now it's blue.
Yeah, so maybe that's just how it is with the family.
It could be. It could very well be. Or, Trunks looks fine with blue hair, too. It's not a big deal. Not a big change.
Yeah.
So, and we get the, next time, find out about the future to be continued. And that looks like, I guess instead of doing a special this time, they're going to just do like a 2-episode spread where they explain the future or the dark future.
Yep. SOS. The next episode is called SOS from the future. A dark enemy appears. So that's going to be our introduction to evil Goku or Black Goku, as they call it, because the Japanese use black as a term for evil or dark.
It says what did it say? An evil or a blackness appears. You said.
A dark and basically a black enemy appears.
They're probably going to call him Goku Black then.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Black Goku. Yeah. like it's gonna be like Yami Goku, like how like how in Yu-Gi-Oh there was like Yugi and then there's Yami Yugi.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. Dragon Ball. I feel like we can get through quick, and we can talk about it for a little while and talk about what we're looking forward to. Because Dragon Ball always delivers. It's like Batman. Batman fights the bad guys, protects Gotham, goes home, rinse and repeat the next day. Doesn't matter
Yep.
how many times you change DC Comics. Batman's always going to get up at night, go out and beat one of his rogues, come back home, go to bed, and do the same thing again. Batman has never changed. And with Dragon Ball, it's the same way. It's a new adventure. The future's in trouble. The present's in trouble. Whatever's in trouble. They're going to train. They're going to get stronger. Something new's going to happen. And they're going to beat the bad guy.
Yep, and some kind of new technique is going to be discovered. And then, like, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that goes. I wonder, because, like, Vegeta and Future Trunks didn't really have that strong of a relationship during the Cell games. I wonder if it's going to be different now since this Vegeta's a lot nicer.
It will be interesting to see that. It will be, and it'll be funny if there's more comedy between the two of them also.
Yep. I also want Trunks to address the fact that younger Bulma, like younger present-day Bulma, was hitting on Trunks when he first showed up. Because they never really addressed that later on.
We'll talk about that when we get there. I hope that they don't address that. I hope that they ignore it and we just move forward from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I still think it would make a little funny moment there.
Oh, maybe. It might. If it's the future Trunks from the Android future and not a new future Trunks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depends. All right, let's go into Endride, which again, this story is a lot talky lately and not much anything else. It's more of just them traveling to Babylon. But we find out that one of the paladins is a traitor and is working with the king.
Yep.
And that was twisted. I'm not going to say who it was until next episode because obviously it's going to play into next episode. But that I didn't expect out of all the characters there. That one character I didn't expect it from.
See, I watched the episode a second time, and when you watch it a second time, you see the clues more, but the first time I definitely didn't see it coming.
Oh, you didn't see it coming? I knew one of them was going to be a traitor.
No, I didn't suspect that specific person. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I didn't either. I agree with you. But I have a feeling that the Zuzians that are working for the king, I have a feeling they're gonna like double cross him in the.
Yeah, they're gonna end up.
It feels like it.
Because it seems like whenever they run into them, that like they don't really want to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And they don't like the king really either. So
yep.
I feel like that in the end we'll probably have them turn on the king. Now I think that this has a possibility for a second season because if let's say the king is at Babylon now, and we also found out that the warp power, the crystals are losing power. They're losing a flux, and it's ever since the king came into power. So if the crystals die, Endora dies, and it's the king's fault. It's somehow connected to the king becoming the king.
Yep.
So you've got Pavel and this new scientist who idolizes Pavel going to Babylon. You've got the others, the paladins that are making it to Babylon. You've got the king that's already at Babylon. I think this is all coming to a head. Remember, this is episode 10. This show can go to
it's probably going to be like 13. It's
13, 14, yeah.
It's like 13, and then it's going to end there. Or maybe even 12, because it seems like everything's like they're going to all meet up at Babylon and have a final fight.
Yeah, and I don't see anything past Babylon. Will Shun go home? Probably. Will he be happy he's home, though? Probably not. Will he find a way to get back to Endora? I think that the last episode will kind of wrap it. Like there'll be a link for just Shun to go back and forth, kind of like we can never confirm to the top world that we exist, but there'll be a way for Shun to come back and forth to visit because Emilio will be the new king and stuff.
Yep.
So I feel like that might be more of a possible how it's going to all come to an end.
Yep, I agree. That seems like the way they're gonna go, and I can't wait to see like how it's gonna play out, especially because Shun's gotten a lot better with that sword.
And and I like how he says what Alicia's afraid to say to Emilio. He's like, you don't realize your friends care about you. We don't want to see you turn into a relic, a relic stone or a warp stone. We want you to, a warp relic. We want you to stay, we don't think, maybe it's not a good idea for you to do revenge on this guy who killed your father. Maybe there's another way. And he kind of just brushes it off. But finally, I think he's starting to realize the people around him, which I think is a great character.
I think especially after we found out that her like the girl's father is a relic too, and he realizes what kind of impact that had on her when she found out, because all this time she's been looking for her dad and her dad's been there the whole time. So like I feel like that really made an impact on him, and it really showed in this episode.
Agreed, 100% agreed. I loved it. Again, Endride is more of a calm sci-fi-esque thing. If you're looking for like high intense action, I would definitely recommend something a little
big order, or maybe 100.
100 this week had a lot of action, yeah. Before we get into either one, let's talk about Cerberus episode number 9. 9. And I really enjoyed this episode. I kind of enjoyed it. So basically, we knew Giru was going to live because we saw the previews.
Yep.
They have to get this it feels like something we've seen in many animes before. They need an herb to create a spell in order to completely heal Giru. So the main character, Hero, goes off with, it starts with an S, and her name left me completely. Serato. They go off to get the herb. It turns out to be on this gigantic turtle. Reminded me of Neverending Story for some.
I actually thought of Avatar. Like, remember when Aang met the giant turtle that taught him energy bending? That's what I thought of.
That too. Yeah, that's right. That too. They got the herb. They healed Giru. And now Giru wants to move forward faster because they feel like
Darganzad's will come after them sooner if they just stay in one place.
Mm-hmm. And also, it's just everything that's going on with. There's also a war that's coming between the factions, all because of the guy that's selling weapons and whatnot.
Yep.
Oh, and we get to see what's his name, the Elder. They find the Elder in the end, in the very end of the episode. I forgot his name though.
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost completely forgot about that.
So again, not a lot of action, but at the same time, we're finally progressing the story. I don't see, but see with Endride, you get that like it's building up to have that big explosion. With Cerberus, I don't feel like we're at that point yet where we're lighting the fuse for the explosion.
Because with Endride we can see the end game already because we're getting close. This is why I think this one might be another 25 episode. This one might be a 25 episode one too, because this all just seems like build up. I don't see any clear end game yet, and we're close to like the 10 episode mark. Mm-hmm. So if it was going to be a short one that was going to be like 13 episodes, we would at least be able to see the end game by now. So I think this one might be a 20 episode one.
I agree. I 100% agree. And I could say that for a few animes, actually, but one was kind of confirmed, which we'll get into. No, I'm enjoying Cerberus. It's not like, if you're looking for high action again, that's animes that we will be talking about and that we have talked about already. This has more story development and character development, and kind of like Inuyasha, but a little less with the action and the killing of the demons.
Yep, it's more like it's kind of like a D&D campaign.
Right. Yes.
I would compare it to that, because like a lot of D&D, if you haven't played before, is more like kind of moving along, getting your party to certain places, doing certain side quests to get items, and that's kind of what we did here. We got an item, heal on a member of our party, so we could move on to the next part of the quest.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a perfect way to do it. It's like that. Yeah, exactly. Cerberus is like D&D or Final Fantasy, where you grow in party and you have these moments where you fight, but it's not like all the time.
Yep.
All right, so now let's go to Big Order, episode number number 8. Damn, there was some disembowelments in this one, and I'm so glad that it was undone because I didn't see a way for them to be undone. So anyway, the father's evil. That man is like epitome of evil.
He's a sick son of a bitch. Yeah.
I hate him. Good job. I hate him.
Yep. So, they made a really good villain in this one.
Mm-hmm. So the sister tries to basically take the heat off her brother, who's not really her blood brother, but her brother anyway, and basically prove that the father's the evil, as you say, son of a bitch. And it looks like it's working until we find out that the light in her eye, as well as Rin's eye, that gives him power or order over them. And his order to her was to bring out that point and then to agree with everything else he says. And as he's talking, she starts to agree. Even though she doesn't want to, she's forced to.
Yep.
And it turns out that the sister and, oh God, what's his name? G. Starts with a G.
Man. This is gonna bug me.
Either way, both of them are a piece to the puzzle to opening up the gate for the order.
Yeah.
Basically.
This is gonna bug me. I know the kid's name. It starts with an H. Satoshi.
No.
Damn it! I know it's Edgy.
Thank you.
Hashim Edgy. There we go. This is gonna annoy me because I really like this show and I knew that character's name.
So Edgy knows where his sister is and tries to save her, and that guy that's able to bend reality with his sword ends up cutting off an arm and a leg of Edgy, and Edgy still finds a way using his order to order his limbs to stay attached to him, and he goes off fighting that guy with the sword for a bit, and the father says, if you want to get your sister back, follow me. You've definitely grown. And he disappears. The 10 end up saving Edgy.
Yep, the Great 10. His little bodyguards.
Yeah, and what happens is they are taking care of the father. They're fighting against the father, but they want to keep Edgy safe from him. They want to keep him away from the father because obviously the father wants to use him.
What I think is going to happen, right, is that the dad is going to eventually convince Edgy to release the lock on his power.
Mm-hmm.
And once you can use 100% of it, it's just going to be, game over, man. Game over.
I think so, too. But I like how it ended with the girl that likes him.
Io, the one with the bunny ears?
Yeah, and she's like, let's make our baby right now. Since you can't leave, let's just make our baby right now. And she gets on top of him, and I'm like, skip to next scene, please skip to next scene. Please tell me we're not going to see anything. And we skip to the next scene, and I was like, woo, okay, well, almost went into hentai territory there, but we didn't. We failed.
I was sitting there like,
I mean, I wanted them to be together. I was very happy when she called him her husband, but at the same time, I don't need to see the baby making.
I'm still rooting for Rin in the back of my mind. I don't know. I'm still holding out hope there.
You still hold out all you want. Unless they kill off the character that I like, there ain't no chance.
I'm still holding out hope there. I don't know, man. I think it could happen. I think she really got attached to him, and the only reason she's not with him right now is because she's under the dang father's control.
Could be. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I'm glad you got me into Big Order, even though we were like 6 episodes behind.
I told you, man. Once I started, I couldn't stop.
I'm glad. It's too bad. I feel bad we missed one anime because I started reading the manga and I really liked it, and that was Twin Exorcist. Yeah. Unfortunately, Twin Exorcist is about episode 8 or 9 now. It would be one of those animes where we would skip It wouldn't make sense. We would be
Yeah, it would be basically Garo all over again,
hmm
and that would be unfair to that show.
Next time we gotta pay more. Like we both were questioning that. We watched an episode. We were like, we do, we don't, and then we're like, but we don't want to add any more anime, so let's forget it. And then we ended up adding Big Order. So it's like I feel like we could have just added that show too.
Yeah, we'll consider. We'll be more considerate next time.
And maybe we'll catch it on the fly and we'll do like a series review instead.
Yeah.
So we'll catch it. Don't worry, Twin Exorcist. And if you do a season 2, maybe we'll come for season 2. We'll jump in for season 2 and catch up with season 1.
Mm-hmm.
ReZero episode number 10. Oh, we finally are moving forward. We finally got past the day. He survived. He survived the curse. He lived. He was healed by
It's not Amelia, is it? No.
He was healed by Amelia, but with the help of the little girl with the curls in her hair.
And Puck. Yeah.
But Puck, I love the moment with Puck in the beginning where she's like, "You got Nom really good," and it's not like a cute Nom. It's like, and then her face gets big and she starts doing those dark voices. I watched that 3 times because it was so funny.
That was pretty funny.
I died at that moment. He comes out, and then it turns out that Rem is there, but where's Rin? Or vice versa. The pink-haired one is there, but not the blue. And he finds out from the little girl that he's been cursed so many times by so many bites that the only way for him to survive without dying within the next 24 hours is he has to kill the initial curse, the initial first bite. So Rin knew this and went out to the forest and basically got completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs possessed by her demon horn. And she's just basically killing every evil beast that she comes across. She's basically lost her mind.
That was crazy.
But Subaru goes in there with Remy, and both of them are trying to find the sister now because they want to save the sister. They want to stop her from, losing herself to her demon side. And we also find out a little bit that Rem might have lost her horn to her sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because twins only have 1 horn each. Usually full demons that aren't twins have 2 horns.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I like that this episode didn't involve dying or, near death or stuff like that.
Or having to kill yourself.
Mm-hmm. This one just focused on saving Rin. And he finds Rin. It becomes this humongous thing. Rin is so far gone, but the only way to stop Rin is to destroy her horn. So she won't be a full-fledged demon anymore either because she's going to lose her horn. And it fades to black as he goes for her horn. So we don't know what happened.
Yeah, cliffhanger. Yeah, that's always what happens.
I really am loving... I feel like ReZero really, really picked up.
And it has good world building, too, so I feel like it can go for a second season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this, by the way, I found out is 25 episodes long, so it is going to be going into the summer. It will be ending after the summer is off. So we'll have this for at least the next season.
Sweet.
Which is fun because I feel like Assassination Classroom is going to end in another 2 or 3 weeks. One Piece will still be going. Dragon Ball Super might take a break after the Trunks arc, but I think that'll go through the summer at least. And what other one are we still watching that's going on and on? Naruto is getting to that point where they're at that last fight, but they'll drag that out for another.
They're gonna keep going. They're gonna keep on milking that cow.
They're gonna milk it until that cow gives us powder.
They're gonna milk the cow until it's dry, and then they're gonna take that cow. They're gonna throw it on the grill and make it into like the best steak ever. But they're gonna tenderize it and make sure it's on the grill for a very long time. So they're gonna make sure it's well done, not like medium rare or medium well. They're gonna make sure that cow is well done. And now I'm hungry because I ended up getting food allergies. Oh man, I'm totally gonna eat my sandwich after this.
All right, well, since we're talking about that cow, do you have anything you'd like to add to ReZero?
No, I'm good. I feel like I interjected enough of my thoughts on it.
Okay, so then let's go right into Mr. Cow, which is Naurto Shippuden episode 463.
Sage of the Six Paths, fellers. Nah. It was like I'm very conflicted on both this and the Kaguya
Well,
one.
you were wrong about last week. I was wondering where you got the sexy jitsu from. It turns out that was this week's episode.
Oh yeah, the reverse harem jutsu with the naked dudes. And
Yeah.
yep.
And Naruto got separated from Sasuke, so now they can't.
Yeah. See that was the one I talked. Yeah, that was the one I talked about last week. That was the one I talked about last week. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I loved Sakura's face. Sakura had me rolling. She was like the nosebleed. She fell back, and I was like, ah.
I like that. What's her name? That Kaguya kind of was distracted long enough for Naruto to.
I mean, she's been frozen for like thousands of years. I can imagine you get kind of lonely, and she was surrounded by a bunch of naked, attractive men. So
I just don't like that she's pulling the cheating boss card where she warps away every 2 seconds, and Naruto's trying to fight her, and it's just not working.
it reminds me of like that like the big wall buster zombie in Resident Evil that just randomly comes up.
The Titan.
And, yeah.
Exactly. It just comes out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm not digging Kaguya. She's like one of those cheatsy, what do you call it, villains. But then we find out that the son ends up reanimating himself with the other puppets
Yep.
that were brought back. And now we're going back to filler. We went and had one whole episode of awesome fight, and now we're going back to...
Yeah, that was my complaint that I talked about. I'm like, yep, we had a great fight, awesome animation, great music, and everything was going well.
And now we're going to get the history of all the clans and the
And I was
ninja way. I'm like, oh.
But I don't understand, right? They could have just did that episode and then went to the fight, and they could have did like 2 episodes in a row of the fight. But they chose to do fight filler. They're gonna probably just keep alternating fight filler, fight filler, fight filler.
Oh, that's gonna be so freaking annoying. I think this is the last filler piece, though. There can't be anything else after this.
Oh, don't underestimate Naruto and filler. Don't underestimate Naruto.
Now I'm getting a little frustrated because it's like we're getting a good fight, and now we're getting an interruption that might very well last 2 episodes long. Because it's the.
I'm used to this. I've put up with Naruto fillers for a good majority of my life.
This is
unfortunately.
This is where I'm starting to feel a little bit of that edgy feeling to it. That's for sure.
Like I've been watching Naruto since I was in middle school, so I know just how bad Naruto fillers can get.
Yeah, there's only so much I could take before I lose my marbles, and hopefully we'll get out of all of this soon. But beside the point, anyway, I enjoyed it though. I thought it was action packed. I enjoyed the fight. I did want the background with the ninjutsu, like how it came to be, but I would have liked it, like you said, right after Kaguya got sealed away. It was a perfect open opportunity for them to just keep going and finish the background story before going in.
Yeah, exactly. And it would have been a good setup, but whatever. I also thought it was clever of Kaguya to do the whole divide and conquer strategy by sending sending Sasuke to the desert and having Naruto in basically Elsa land.
Mm-hmm.
Because the funniest part, right, is when this came out in the manga, there's an article in Shonen Jump about how when this chapter came out, the writer of Naruto and the writer of Bleach went to see the movie Frozen together, and both of them ended up doing ice-themed stuff for their next couple chapters, and this was the next chapter that he did with the whole ice castle thing. So I was like, in my head, I was just like, let it go.
No.
Let it go.
No, not on this show. No.
Oh, man. No, come on. You can't tell me you saw the ice castle and you didn't think Frozen.
Honestly, no. I was thinking
Really?
It's a Solitude.
Huh. I was thinking Frozen.
Well, you remember now I don't like Frozen, so...
Hey man, so you're telling me if I ever knocked on your door and asked you if you wanted to build a snowman, you'd tell me no, and
Oh,
then
I'd
have to
build
say
a snowman. Just wouldn't be Olaf.
I was gonna say. See, then I would just have. See, I know Cat would build a snowman. I'd go hang out with Cat then. We go build a
No,
snowman.
I would build a snowman. It just wouldn't look like Olaf.
Olaf is awesome. He's a snowman that enjoys hot chocolate. Like that, you
I'm
don't get.
not into. Listen. I like many things. Frozen is not one of those things.
See,
It was a
well,
unique movie, but that was all it was.
I still think she should have joined the X-Men at the end of the movie. Whatever. That's another. I'm going on the Disney tangent. I
Well, her and
seriously.
Might have something in common because of a petition.
Oh, that whole. Yeah. Uh-huh.
We're not going to talk about the petition then, I guess. Wow,
Nope.
that's how you stop people when they're talking about Frozen. You bring up the petition. You bring up the petition, and they stop in their tracks.
Because that is like the stupidest thing ever. Why are you gonna petition to make a character gay?
I don't know.
It's dumb. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Anime. Okay,
We
Koro.
apologize for this Disney interlude.
We going into Kuromukuro episode 9. Oh my god. This is a good episode because the girl comes back finally, and she says, well, first of all, we might have hints that her father's alive
Yep.
from the beginning of the episode, which I like that a lot. I think his consciousness is trapped in that robot
I'm thinking so too.
somewhere, somehow. And in the end, she gets found. She goes back to the UN, and she's like, I never was asked. Why didn't you ask me nicely to join, to ride the black relic with you? And he's like, will you please ride with me? I apologize for forcing you. And she's like, I'm petrified as hell. I really don't want to, but yes. As long as you promise you're not going to kill yourself or any more death thoughts, yes. And he's like, fine. And they end up getting into the black relic.
See, and I'm glad this was like finally the end of this whole emo whiny thing that she's been
Yes.
going through.
Yes, very
Like
much.
for like 2 or 3 episodes now, she's been running away, whining and complaining,
Mhm.
but now she's over it. So yay!
Exactly. And now we're back to the action. They get back in the black relic. They go fighting the next demon that's come down. This is what I didn't like. There was an attempt to beam them up to the ship, right? And the UN was able to stop that. But my point is, why even waste your time doing that if you're not going to get them? I thought that I have a feeling they're going to do it again. They're going to attempt to do it again. So basically, they won't give the black relic back. So instead of destroying it, which is what I thought the aliens would do, they're trying to take it back by force.
I think they're trying to capture it, and then they're gonna like wipe the pilot's memory and make the pilot go under their control. Like Ken, I think they're gonna wipe his memory,
I hope
and
that
then,
doesn't happen.
and they're gonna try to like Winter Soldier him, because I think because that seems like the only reason they would try to take it, right? Is if they could reverse engineer it to bring it to their side.
Yeah. I personally hope that this series goes on like ReZero for 20 episodes. I see a lot of stories still to tell. And we're at episode 9, which next episode will be 10. I don't see an end in sight. There's like nothing indicating like this is the end. I feel like we're
The only one that we've talked about so far that has end in sight, like we said, was Endride, and I think Big Order. It's showing more. I think Big Orders, you can see more of an end game forming there.
Mm-hmm. So I would definitely say that this has potential to last a while longer, especially because I feel like we're still at the very beginning of the anime. I feel like we haven't done too much yet. We haven't.
And I feel like it's Gundam. It's like Gundam in a way where this has a much more long form story, like to tell.
I 100% agree with you, and I think that less politics and more action are what's going to defer this from Gundam a little bit more.
And less heavy dialogue, although there were a couple dialogue-heavy episodes.
There were, but those were more of like filling in the blanks for the background.
Yeah, and like world building and stuff. Yep.
Now we've got that. The only thing that's left.
Well, we didn't. Yeah, I'm just glad we didn't have like entire speeches on like trade tariffs and taxes and.
Oh no! Please shush. They'll do that next. They'll do that next. No, I would like to see Ken's backstory. So that's one more dialogue heavy thing I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I would be cool. I would like to see what exactly the planet of those people that invented the robots is like, and what was his life like as a soldier for those people.
I
What
don't think
made
he was
him
a
turn
soldier for
against?
those people. I think the princess worked with them. She defected to Earth and took this guy and somehow, like, you know how how the daughter ended up in the ship and she got shot with the nanobot and she has to
Uh-huh.
be in the ship. I think it's reversed now. The princess was in the ship and she brought Ken in and he got the shot with the nanobot. So now he's the only one that could pilot it. You know what I mean?
Maybe I always thought that Ken might have been like the princess's like bodyguard or whatever, or like her main like knight,
Maybe.
and
Maybe.
that's the whole reason she left the his weapon in charge for him.
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking. He just seems like a soldier. He has that soldier type of attitude and mentality.
Well, he is a what do you call it? A samurai.
Yep.
Also, I like how in the end they defeat the big robot and the guy basically surrenders instead of blowing up the robot this time. So now they finally have a prisoner. But I have a feeling this is all a trap somehow or a setup.
Yep. Somebody call Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap!
Oh
I
man.
can't help it. I had to do that once.
Yep.
All right, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, episode number 8. We got introduced to his brother.
Yep.
And I don't know if you felt it at the end of last episode. I felt where this episode was going to go.
Yeah. That dude's kind of shady. I don't trust him.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit so I could take a break? I mean, you're not coughing anymore and you've got your voice.
Yeah, I don't trust this guy. Like throughout every time he said something, I'm like, there's some kind of motive behind everything you're saying. Like every sentence I'm reading is like a loaded question. Everything you're asking about, and like all the information you're trying to get, I'm like, you're doing something. You're doing something very suspicious.
Well, say what happened in the episode. Give me a break and explain the
Nah,
episode as
nah,
well.
I'll leave the plot twist to you. I'll leave the plot twist to you. I like being cryptic.
Oh, sure. That's why Jeremy has me here. I say the episode, then he just gives like a 5-second, like, oh, I liked it because of and then Chris, move on to the next one. I see how you work.
Hey man, I spent a good chunk talking about Naruto and Frozen. Okay, so
I'm gonna find an Olaf and knock his head off for that.
you leave Olaf alone. Okay,
Sven is the best character in that movie.
Olaf doesn't deserve any of that.
Sven is gonna eat Olaf's nose. I'm gonna feed it to him.
Doesn't need a nose. What's he gonna smell anyway?
Snow.
Oh man. Anyways.
All right, so they end up coming back, and they're these warriors that have fought the Kaban. They're trying to rid the world of the Kaban, but Ikoma kind of questions the brother. He questions the motives. He questions everything, and it turns out Ikoma's right. They're pretty twisted because they actually ask the leader chick, I forgot her name, if they can go back with her and help, fix the town that was taken over by the Kaban, and she says, absolutely, you can definitely escort us back. Big mistake, because apparently they get in their train, or they connect trains, instead of just being in, two separate trains. They connect their trains,
Mm-hmm.
and it turns out that the brother is quite evil. He wants the master key, and he wants control of the train, and it turns out that the main locomotive has a trap, has not a trap, but it has like a prison of a ton of Kaban, basically. And the guy is twisted, and Mume, basically, anything this guy says, it's like religion to her. She's literally been brainwashed.
Yeah, because that's her brother. He kind of
He saved her and told her that she could still stand up for herself and be strong. she saved herself, and then he's like, your mom was weak, that's why she died. From this moment on, I'll train you, and you're gonna be Mume. And it turns out that
he kind of, and she idolized the guy, and like, you know how it is. It's one of those situations of like never meet your heroes because like
they'll let you
they'll
down.
disappoint you. Yep.
And she never got bit, by the way, everybody. She was injected with Kaban blood, so she's a Kabaneri strictly because her brother wanted to do testing on her.
He wanted to create the ultimate weapon against the Kaban, and so she wasn't actually like bitten. It was an experiment to test if she was immune to see if he could replicate it.
And yeah, basically she became a Kabaneri. And it's just crazy, and now it's ending. It turns out that the brother might be a little bit too obsessed with the Kaban. As a matter of fact, he might be too much connected to the Kaban.
I think he's gonna end up turning into like some kind of super Kaban monster by the end of this.
I think so too, because we've already seen that some of his soldiers are Kabaneri.
Yep.
So I'm actually, and Ikoma is starting to question what's going on. And they actually try to rebel against him a little bit by the end of the episode, and it does not look good. Things do not bode well for Ikoma.
And we just had a nice episode where everything was calmer. I should have known.
You should have felt this coming, dude. Look at the anime you're watching. Look at it.
I should have known because everything was all nice. Mei was starting to get less distant. She was actually having fun. They decided, hey, we're gonna take back our town, and they had that whole motivational speech, and it was just like, yeah. But then,
this ain't gonna be good.
Nope, shit's gonna hit the fan.
And it definitely will in the next episode. This also kind of feels like it's getting to that point where they're at their end game, possibly. Yeah. I don't know what their plan I don't even see how you would end a series like this. So I
don't know. I think the final boss is going to be the brother, but then I feel like they could continue into another season.
Oh yeah, I think it'll come back for a season 2. Absolutely, definitely, where they'll try to rid the world of the Kaban.
Yeah, and there's more track to cover. Like literally, their train hasn't really traveled all across this world, so
a lot more world building possibilities.
Yep.
All right, we are in.
You might even get a new train.
Exactly. That would be cool if they actually.
Yeah, I would like to see a train upgrade.
With like weaponry on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, so we're in our top 5 now, and the reason I say top 5 this week is because Iron Fortress was pushed out by the One Punch Man special, and we are talking about now 100, episode number 9. I really love 100. Every time
these poachers or whatever they're called, like
hunters. They were called hunters.
Yeah, okay. For some reason I call them poachers
because they are technically poachers. Their goal is to take.
These guys are like relentless. Like every episode, we get to see like a ton of them come after. Like ever since they've been introduced, like we've at least had 1 or 2 massive battles per episode against like a group of hunters. Yeah.
So I like this episode. I've loved 100. 100's really great. And again, this unfortunately too feels like there's an end game in sight, especially with the ending to this episode.
I still don't like the friend.
Which friend? Whose friend?
The Emmy's friend. I don't like Emmy's friend.
I never liked Emmy's friend. So anyway, they're fighting the hunters. And I like how Hayato finally kind of breaks through to the leader of the hunters. And he's like, I just want the world to be happy again. I'm not in this for, government, for this or that or the other thing. My goal is this. And it turns out because he's a variant, just like the other hunters are variants, because his want is strong, that's what brings out the full body of
yeah.
And it becomes an awesome fight between him and the leader, and I just love it. The tides turn so fast. The hunters, it looks like they're going to win. They're going to beat, Claire and the others, and Hayato just turns the tide. And so, I'll tell you one thing: Amelia is a beast. Beast. Did you see that punch? That
surprised the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect her to be that powerful.
And she literally punched a girl, and the 100 came out of her body and shattered.
That was crazy.
One punch.
That was crazy intense. I expected something like that from Claire maybe, but not from Emmy.
I love that. And then I love how basically this big dragon savage shows up and they basically call a truce and they're like, let's fight this dragon,
Yeah, and then they team up. Yep.
But we did get a good backstory with the hunters. We found out why they were the way they were. They were mistreated, they were used as slaves, and they were saved. They escaped, and then they were saved by the woman that gave them the hundreds, the bootleg hundreds, in order to make them free.
Yep.
So in the end, they end up fighting the big dragon. Long story short, in order to stop the dragon, here comes the fan service. Hayato has to actually kiss Claire and pass on some of his variant to her in order to make her stronger.
Uh-huh.
And Amelia doesn't like it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, they do. And she gets that boost, and Hayato ends up dealing the final blow like the plan. And in the end, they end up going back to Little Garden, and they have the hunters with them. I think that they're going to join.
Yeah, the Little Garden. Yep. I think so too. Also, I'm just saying, Team Claire, that helped push it. I'm just saying.
Because then when Hayato fell into the lake, Amelia was the one that saved him. I'm Team Amelia because she ended up kissing him again and saving him in the lake. And she was at his hospital bed back at Little Garden.
I'm still taking it. I'm still supporting.
You can take whatever you want and you can run home. I'll let you have your stupid Rin and Edgy, but you cannot have my Amelia and Hayato.
Nope, I'm still pushing for Claire. As much as I like
actually, if you remember what the scientist said, she said with Hayato sharing his variant, it will have an effect on her body. I think she's gonna die. So
No, don't say that. Don't you kill Claire. If Claire dies,
I'm not gonna kill her, but maybe there's gonna be things that happen.
See, the only thing that could possibly happen in a show like this is her boobs are gonna get bigger.
Oh, will you stop that?
And give him something more to grow.
Oh, she's not.
That's gonna be the power boost. Watch.
No, it's not.
Oh, watch.
See the next episode?
I did not watch the coming attractions. No.
No, did you watch the next episode because it's available?
Not yet. I haven't seen.
Okay, I thought maybe you knew something and you're making me look stupid.
No, I'm just making it up. But if it happens, I forgot. I'm psychic, man.
Yeah, you're chick psychic, right? You know what's gonna happen to every girl in an anime.
I mean, hey, when you have to keep track of 5,000.
I knew it. I was waiting to see how it was gonna fit into this show.
I mean, we gotta make this joke at least once an episode. It's a tradition.
Yes, sir. And it's always around this anime that we get to that joke.
I mean, he has to deal with all these girls at the same time, man. Like.
Oh, man, I'm glad I don't know your girlfriend. Because she'd kill me and you, and then the show would be over.
No, see, what would happen is she'd kill us, she'd resurrect us with the Dragon Balls, and then she'd kill us again.
I'm so glad I don't know your girlfriend. So let's move into Stray Dogs, episode number 9. I really like this episode. And I'm
glad Dazai didn't die, or at least attempt to use this to kill himself.
I thought this was perfect with Dazai, especially at the end. I loved the ending with Dazai, where he broke free.
Yep, and he was like, you know what? The kid tried to save me. I gotta save the kid now.
Yeah, that was the other guy, the main character.
Yeah.
The little girl, because what his name? The K guy, I can't pronounce his name, but it's a long K name, wants him to basically bring her into the police where she'll be tried, sentenced, then put to death for the people that she's killed, and he doesn't want.
Yeah, this is the chick that had the bomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he gives her basically the day of her life. He takes her out to eat. He takes her to a game. He takes her to a carnival, and then she's like, "We have one more place to go." And she stops right in front of the police station, and she's like, I need to go to jail. I need to be tried and sentenced to death. Because she apparently must have what's his name?
The boss, yeah.
And he didn't want to, though. But then that other guy shows up and ends up stealing her, and what's his name got kidnapped as well. So now the whole agency is on stop, and the boss says until our two comrades are brought back, we're not doing any more cases. All of our energy needs to go towards finding our friends and bringing them back.
Which makes sense. I mean, you wouldn't want to do anything else until you know for sure your friends are safe.
Mm-hmm. I like how Daza here, they delve into him being with the Port Mafia a bit. It turns out that the guy with the shadow powers was his, what do you call it? Not partner, but was like a rookie at the time.
I would say like they were friends. Like they came in at the same time.
Yeah, but he sucked apparently, and that's why he started punching Dazai a lot, because he sucked at his job, and Dazai kept saying, "Wow, the new guy is better than you," and it kind of made the other guy flip out. And then at the end of the episode, his partner, his actual partner from the Port Mafia, showed up, and is like, "Dude, I know you. You have a plan. You wouldn't just stand here all trapped if you didn't have a plan." And then he actually frees Dazai, and then Dazai goes, and the handcuffs come off, and he's like, "You actually figured out my plan. You're not as stupid as I thought." And then it leads into this huge. He's like, "I can't let you stop me," and it.
That was pretty cool. I like this development for him. He's probably my favorite character on the show besides Tiger Dude.
He is my favorite character. I don't care, Dazai, and I love it. I love how the whole episode opened with him singing about the double suicide thing again. I loved it. He's my favorite character on the show, and it ended with that K guy saying, "Hold on, we're gonna save you guys."
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome. I like how it's building up.
I love it. I love it. I love Stray Dogs. This is a show that can go on and on and on and on and on. There doesn't need to be an end in sight. You could have the Port Mafia as a villain forever and have tons of different bad guys like you've been doing, and you could have this show lasting for seasons and seasons.
And also, you could, like, even if they defeat the Port Mafia, they could introduce another crime organization and then another one. You know?
Yeah, and you could just show them, like the guy with the wear power slowly awning his power still.
Yeah, and then eventually he'll be able to go full I want to see him go full transformation. Mm-hmm. That would be dope.
And we're already at episode 9, so you cannot tell me that this is like a series that's going to have a definitive the end.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Character.
It doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so. We could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Nope.
However, with Assassination Classroom, episode 21, it looks like the end is near. It truly does look like the end is near. This is the episode that I watched last week by mistake where Koro-sensei and the rest of the class are putting together a yearbook because the school year is almost over.
And he wants to basically kind of collect their memories into the yearbook so that just in case he doesn't make it, you'll at least have something to remember him by. It's a really sweet gesture.
Mm-hmm. And what they did was, like you said in the last episode, they cured him.
Yep, so they reduced his chance of exploding down to 1%.
Exactly. But the government doesn't care. They still want to get rid of him. So they put their plan into effect. They put a humongous dome over the classroom one night. They shoot a beam down that shoots Koro-sensei and literally nearly kills him. I mean, there was almost nothing left of him after that. And they basically out him to the world because if you remember, the government's been keeping it secret that he was the E-class teacher. They outed him to the world. Now all the students are being hit with media and press asking, how did you survive? How was it being a prisoner to a monster? And they're like, that's not true. And now basically their goal is to get to Koro-sensei and figure out what they're going to do next. But obviously, because the government's going to attempt...
And also, it was a smart move because if they get the media on their side and they're like, hey, he's not really a bad guy, the media's going to, obviously use this and be like, you have this innocent man, or not necessarily innocent man, but you have this good guy, imprisoned when he really didn't do anything. I mean, besides, he did murder all those people in the science lab or whatever, but I know where you're
going. I know exactly where you're going. So they decide they're going to break in and they're going to go see. And I love Koro-sensei. The end of the episode is him saying, if I have one wish, because he knows it's over, it's that I wish I could see my class one more time. And I think this is going to be the part that I read. I think we're only about 2 or 3 episodes away from completion.
Oh, man.
So, Jeremy, you better get your box of tissues ready. I'm not 100% sure, but this feels like it's getting to the point where either the kids are going to kill him or the government's going to kill him and the kids are going to get nothing.
Ah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
And you know Koro-sensei said he wanted the people, if he was going to be killed, who did he want to kill him?
The class, yep.
Exactly. So I don't want to spoil that last scene, and I don't want to spoil what's going to happen, but things are going to happen.
Oh, no. You got me nervous now.
Oh, I hope it's not episode 22. I really hope they push at least to 23.
Oh, you got me really nervous now.
Every time you watch Assassination Classroom from this point forward, you should be.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Anyway.
But I love this episode. I really did. I thought it was sweet, and I love how even though he's trapped, he's still sitting there putting together the yearbook before they kill him.
Uh-huh.
It shows that he's changed over the years.
And it shows that he's really dedicated to his students.
Mm. Now, the show that you confirmed is ending in 3 more episodes.
My Hero Academia.
Episode number freaking 10 of 13. 3 more to go.
Oh, dude, what is his name? The eye dude. What is his...
The which dude?
Is it the eye dude? The one with the goggles with the eye power?
The goggles? Oh, I forgot his name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, though. The one that could erase a person.
Eraserhead.
Eraser, right.
There you go. Eraserhead. That's his name. He's a badass.
That was an awesome... He's just kicking every...
He was so freaking cool. That was awesome.
And I don't know how you can't like Lita. He was so good in this episode. He didn't want to leave his friends, and even
Yamcha had good episodes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now you're just trying to make out. No, he's a good character. I like him. I really like him a lot, and I like how all the students get thrown into different places in the dome, and they're fighting like a group of villains, but apparently none of them cared to check the quirks that each one of them had. So each one was kind of just randomly thrown in someplace. I like that other girl, Tsu, Tsu, the ribbit, the frog girl.
Oh yeah,
the
frog chick. Yeah, she's cool.
And I like the little boy with the sticky balls. I'm sorry, I like that.
He's
funny. I like him. He's hilarious.
He's pretty funny. I do like that kid.
And I like how Ikoma figures out. Not Ikoma. Oh wow. Izuku figures out he figures all this out that the villains had no clue. They knew they were going to be there, but they're here for All Might, and now they're fighting these students. He's like, we need to get out of here and get the class back together. So he uses a little bit of his power, and he kind of inspires Frog Girl and the other boy as well to kind of join him. And they come up with this plan, and they all use their powers in a certain way. And I love how they explain their powers to each other so they know.
The thing that I like about Izuku that makes him different from any other shonen protagonist is he's not an idiot.
Yep.
He actually makes strategies, comes up with a plan before he charges in. Unlike everybody else who's just kind of run and charge and punch, like Izuku actually thinks and plans and is very methodical. That's what I like about this, like the anime and the manga.
100% agree, and I love his character, and I know where this is going, because obviously the manga's already surpassed. Did it? Did the manga?
Yeah, it did.
It did. I think Volume 4 is where it's kind of moving on, if I'm not mistaken. Volume 3 or 4 moved on already to Season 2. But anyway, I liked it. I like how the students are coming together. All Might starting to question what's going on. He's getting ready to leave, and then we get introduced to the principal, who's this cute dog, polar bear, mouse mixture. I love it. He's all powerful, and then he shrinks back down again, and the guys just talk. Now, he's a character I could get annoyed with.
I like how it has that similarity to All Might, where he kind of he bulks up, and then he shrinks back down.
Mm-hmm. But he wants to go, and I think that when the guy gets to the Hero Academia, I think All Might's going to be the one that answers the call.
Well, when the hand guy.
No,
Yeah.
when the guy that you don't like makes it back to
Oh, you talking about Ida? Yeah,
Ida
yeah.
makes it back, he's going to tell All Might, and All Might's going to go try to save the day.
Yep, not gonna say nothing.
I own the mangas. I actually am reading them at a slower pace. That's why I couldn't review it for the first part, the pre-show, because I'm trying to keep up with the anime. When season one ends, I won't feel bad reading ahead because then it's like, well, I want to continue the story. I don't want to just buy the manga and have them like shelf candy. I want to read them. It's kind of like why I'm okay reading One Punch Man right now, because season one is over. I can read all the mangas and not feel guilty that it's cheating and me getting to the end game faster. And that's why I'm upset at myself for reading the last couple of chapters for Assassination Classroom, because I know what happens.
See, that's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad I didn't do that. Cause
Well, I
I'm
think
like,
either way, the impact will still be there. Trust
yeah.
me, the impact will still
Oh
be
yeah.
there.
Oh
So,
yeah. I'm actually halfway through the eighth volume now, so I'm almost done reading the where at least where I have it up to collected. So cool.
yeah. Now we get into our favorite show of all time, One Punch Man. Episode or special number 6, which basically this is the end. This was the last special. It actually says complete now, and the reason it's complete is because it takes place after the final episode of One Punch.
Yeah, and it's basically kind of a party.
Yeah.
It's just it's a celebration for the heroes to celebrate the defeat of the alien overlord dude, Cyclops Super Saiyan guy.
Yeah, and I love how everybody gets pissed drunk, and then apparently, this is where when the episode opened up, I'm like, it's Zombie Man. How is he dead? But apparently somebody stabbed Zombie Man.
Yeah.
And it becomes this humongous. First, they go back and they show everybody arriving, and then they go back to the crime scene. And
It
then
reminded me of like The Hangover. Like,
yeah, basically.
Because they were so drunk that they had to like retrace their steps, and then like it basically it was like a retelling of the day.
And I love how Genos is like, my sensei didn't do it, and then he thinks about it. He's like, wait, sensei asked if somebody stabbed him if he'd survive, and he goes, don't worry, sensei, I won't say anything. I'll testify that you were innocent. And he's like, I didn't do it. And then Zombie Man wakes up anyway, and he's like, I don't remember who did it. I was pretty plastered, but I remember seeing that green energy around the sword. And then they find a tape from one of the cameras, and bratty little girl got a little bit too drunk.
Yep, tornado.
And you know what's funny? It is technically Saitama's fault because he kind of made fun of her and said she could only drink like a drink with very little alcohol in it, and she ended up drinking it all and got drunk anyway because she drank so much of it.
Yep.
And yeah, she knew she could kill Zombie Man and he wouldn't die.
I thought that was funny. I like how they use tornado. I still think that Tornado and Genos have some kind of history, or at least her and Saitama have some kind of history.
I don't know, but she's annoying.
Because she purposely targets those two. Like, she's got something to prove.
Mm-hmm. And then in the end, they basically, it's over. They're going home. All the heroes go home. And I think it's a perfect, if you really think about this special, it's a perfect setup for season 2.
Season 2, yeah, because you can pick up right from there.
Exactly. You have the end now. It's over. They finished the first season. The alien part's done. The door's closed. They had a celebration for it. And now it's like, what's next?
So now that all the specials are done, what was your favorite? Mine was the Silver Fang one where they're doing all the stuff at the dojo.
Which was
and like he buys the meat and he's like, you can have the meat if you participate in the stuff.
That's a good question because none of them really focused on Saitama. A lot of it was like side characters like Sonic and Genos. I like Genos's. Genos was kind of my favorite. I like Genos.
I would say, yeah, my two favorite would be Silver Fangs and Sonic's one. I loved Sonic's one, especially with the little piggy, like the little piglet that was his friend. And
I'm trying to remember the very first special. What was the very first?
The very first one was the one where he got his costume.
That was my favorite. that one was my favorite, where he got his costume, followed by Genos, and then followed by Sonic. Everything. I think it was in perfect place order, except I would take this last episode and move it up to the third place spot and move Sonic down to fourth.
I just thought the Sonic one was hilarious with his whole PTSD over getting hit in the balls.
Well, have you ever been punched in the balls so hard that you almost lost them?
No.
Well, then you don't understand where he's standing from.
No, I don't. Probably not.
It's like you with the shoe. He would probably look at a shoe and be like, it's a shoe. And then you see a stiletto just fly halfway across the room and you probably run for the corner and hide.
Yes, indeed.
So, there you go. You understand the trauma there.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So, that's all the anime for this week, everybody. That's all we got. And I said we were going to be under an hour. We are an hour and 14 now minutes long. Hooray!
Yeah!
16 shows! Woo! Anime Weekly, everybody. The show where even if we take the intro out, we still end up going for about an hour.
That's just how it is.
That's just how much anime we love. But anyway, we're going to end it here, though. Jeremy, is there any final thoughts you want on any of the episodes or stuff like that?
Still saying we should build a snowman.
I said fine. It just can't be Olaf.
Whatever. I'm gonna build him anyway.
Go ahead, you build your Olaf, and I'll have my Sven eat your Olaf.
Whatever. See, we're gonna settle this eventually. Tune in next time for Frozen Debate Part 2.
No, we won't, because I'm no interest in Frozen. You go debate that with Kat.
Now, see, but Kat agrees with me, though. There's no debate there.
Right, so go have fun.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, ending episode time.
That's right. So, guys, we are Comic Frontline. We are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. We got tons of different shows on this channel. 3 weekly ones. Anime Weekly being 1, Frontline Live being 2, and Media... I almost said Manga Madness. Media Madness being your 3rd. Every week these live shows go on, and we've got videos, reviews, and everything coming out each and every day. So if you're not subscribed, you might want to subscribe. This way we're in your sub box, and you do not miss out on a single video. If you've not checked out comicfrontline.com.
And don't forget to give this video a like. It only takes a second of your time. Not that hard, people. Just hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. Lets us know you enjoyed everything. Mm-hmm. So just click that like button.
And also, while you're clicking that like button down below, please comment. Let us know what you thought of the anime episodes we discussed this week. Did you like them all? Didn't you like them all? Hold off on those summer looking forward tos. Let's save those for the pre-show next week, where we'll talk about the shows we're looking forward to in the summer. But start thinking about it, guys. So this way, next week, when we come back on time, the show will be up on Tuesday. We'll discuss what we're looking forward to in the coming summer.
And the summer season looks very interesting from what we've seen so far.
Very much so, yes. So till next time, everybody, as always, take care, keep reading, keep collecting,
and enjoy your anime.
And we'll see you guys next week for another fun-filled episode of Anime Weekly.
Building a snowman.
Goodbye, everybody.